to another episode of a Wicked Parley. Tonight we're going to be looking at a bunch of different situations, potentially discussing some of the things that have to do with those situations, and also kind of giving our reasons for how we might handle those, said situations.
Similar to what would you do scenarios.
Yeah, what would you do? And so what will happen is that we're going to go through them, and then if you guys would like to throw in your guys' particular opinion about what the situation is and how you'd handle it, we'll take a look at it. And we're just going to go through it. So it's going to be kind of a chill, low-key night. So, yeah. And hi and welcome again, host and Kyle.
The spook is nearly upon us. Yes, it do be.
Yeah, it really is nearby of sorts,
Have you done anything Halloween related?
Have I?
Yeah.
No. I mean, not really. I mean, other than if you count getting certain costumes ready for a certain kind of episode that's going to be happening in the near future.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's a certain, funny costume that we could, I guess I could kind of pull it out. I mean, somewhere over here.
Okay, get a little sneaky preview.
Yeah, slightly, let's see here. We got a couple costumes here, but maybe we can use this. The one costume we can briefly just kind of throw it across there, what I'm saying? There might be something there. So, we'll see. We'll see how it's used.
Real quickly, so just to give a little better information about how the thing is going to go, I'm going to be helping post the scenarios into the chat so that way they can remember, for one, what the scenario is when they give their response.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And and we'll be taking turns basically reading from these particular prompts, so yeah. I think there's a couple other things I kind of want to discuss too. Next week is the beginning of a new set of challenges, and I really would love if you guys were to participate in those challenges with me. So, if you guys want to track your progress, discuss what's going on, maybe on a day, kind of
Lord Almighty.
It would be great, So yeah, when it comes to next month's challenge, plot twist. Rose does the next episode with a puppet of Judah. No, you couldn't get a puppet that big. I mean, that's a huge puppet. Are you kidding me? I'm a giant. Somebody would have strings, be like, I don't
marionette thing.
I don't think so. That's pretty creepy though. I mean, maybe she can make me into a puppet in. For video games, though. I can see that. Press the B button. Okay. I don't know.
Kind of like those games where they have the audience controlling what the inputs are.
Yeah. Maybe that would be something you could do.
Goodness gracious.
That'd be pretty funny. Also, other announcements of sorts as well is that I would very much like it if you guys have any more questions. There's going to be a Q&A episode in the near future, so throwing out questions would probably be super helpful at being able to, get those episodes started. So if you guys want to throw in a bunch of them, go for it. Also, I would love to know a list of things that you guys are interested in, topics you'd like to see me see me cover. That would be pretty great. And then, and then, oh my God, no Muppets, no. And
not on the Muppets, not the Muppets.
No, not the Muppets. And then, lastly, when it comes to the specials that are going to be developed and be sent out over the holidays, if you guys like that kind of content, if that's something you find interesting and fun, and something that you find other people that maybe you show videos to of what's going on fun as well, then maybe we might consider doing more of those. But it'll be up to you guys, the viewers, to actually, say, hey, I like this or not. Otherwise, we probably won't do it anymore. So it is up to you guys to use your voice to say, hey, this is awesome, I like this, or this is terrible, never do this again.
We're hoping for the former.
Yeah, really are hoping for the former here when it comes to that. But, I mean, if you guys are like, oh, this is so cringy, I can't even watch it, it's terrible, then it's like, okay, I will understand, we'll take the hint.
We'll take the hint, but we would like some criticism and feedback.
Yeah, and also some other exciting news on the forefront. At the beginning of next year, we're going to be doing a whole extra set of episode content that'll be pretty cool, where we're going to have little small episodes that are going to air throughout the entire week that are like 10, 12 minutes long, in addition to our normal live streams. So hopefully you guys will be happy to see some of that new stuff coming around, and yeah, and just check it out. And please be sure to give us as much feedback as possible if this is something you enjoy, something you like, and if it's not, then also let us know. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and go to our break. And perhaps I was just to be talking a little bit with a better voice until
going on break. We'll see you guys in 2 minutes. Bye for now.
Bye for now. All right, and we're back. Yeah, how did you enjoy that break? Was it a wonderful break? Was it refreshing?
It was a nice and chill moment.
Was it a chill moment? I really like the break sounds. The break sounds are great.
Yeah, they're nice and chill. I like them.
Yeah, we're not at all fluffing this out at all. Yeah, so, one of the things that I think is kind of interesting when it comes to certain circumstances and situations is that often those circumstances and situations define who you are as a person. They intrinsically show a certain set of character traits and values that you seem to have or hold or share. And so these experiences that you're going to hear happen and us kind of give our ideas at least on, I think our values, our opinions, and maybe you find that there's some commonality there, and that'd be great. And if you guys don't, then don't hate us. I mean, if hypothetically, if I deck a kid, on a plane,
Lord Almighty,
I'm not a bad guy.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just an impatient guy.
Where did that even come? Oh, okay, I know where that came
from. I would say
I know exactly where that came from.
Yeah. So understand that that's definitely something to consider. So, with all that being said and gotten out of the way, let's get on to the first set of circumstances.
Yeah,
what do we got, Rose?
Yeah, we actually have some gameplay for people to watch too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
Speaking about a game that's usually about making decisions.
Yeah, I mean, clearly
one of them, one of many.
One of many. It's gonna be it's a good game.
Ta-da!
Yeah, I mean, hey, everyone's familiar with a good old GTA. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy.
All right. So the first prompt is, and I will make sure to label these so that people are okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. First scenario. You are on a plane with a screaming child who is fervently kicking your seat. How best to handle this circumstance? What would you do?
Okay, so the first question I have to ask when it comes to this particular question, of course, How long is the flight?
That is a part of the question. How about maybe say an hour for right now?
An hour flight? Okay, an hour flight. That's a different story than a 6 or 7 hour flight. Okay.
Fair.
You know, if I'm flying to L.A., okay. I'm flying to Hawaii. I'm flying to New York. There are going to be some differences. And you know what?
And then if you happen to go like
way
international.
Oh, way international. It's it's a good night, Irene. Anyways, so what I would say is that if a kid is just screaming and kicking the seat, and I'm on the plane for an hour, I'm going to turn my headphones as high up as I can possibly set up, and noise canceling features, perfect. And I'm just going to pretend that a very, very beautiful Asian woman is massaging my back instead of being kicked feverishly by a small child. I'm going to imagine it's different, and I'm going to be listening to my music while this is happening. Okay? That's my actual game plan. Because I think if you turn around and you talk to, say, the parents of that child,
okay,
they're not going to be able to control their kid. If they could, they already would have. So you're not really going to solve anything by basically being all stuffy at the person, and you're on the plane for an hour. Who can't withstand a little bit of kicking and screaming for an hour? I'm going to say, I mean, at least I can. I'm not going to say everyone can, but I'm going to say I can for sure, okay? However, I'm going to let you guys know, if I'm on that 6-hour flight, I'm going to start having some pretty dark thoughts, all right? I'm going to be having some thoughts like, we spiking some drinks, you know, are we going to maybe just like suddenly just like, you know, recline the chair a little further back, maybe he breaks his, or you know, dislocates a foot or something, you know, I mean.
That's a little darker than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to turn around and just destroy the kid until it gets to, like, you know, a 10, 12-hour flight. At which case, that's like, you know, you bring out it's time to end this.
Lord, hopefully just the expression and not the actual.
We'll take it from there.
I could imagine.
What about you? How would you handle the situation, Rose?
I mean, I'd probably maybe for like a minute or two try and stop it.
Mm-hmm. How?
Probably like even if you say talking to the parents wouldn't do something, I'd probably at least try. Like it may only be an hour, but like it's also a whole that can be problematic, and if they do it to someone who's a lot less lenient about it, it's gonna cause some issues. So I'd like try to get them to stop and try and see like why that's going to be a problem for if they did that to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like to think of myself as a relatively nice person, so I can just deal with it, but I'd like to try and stop it. And if they don't stop, either see if anything can be done, such as me switching seats if it's a relative,
like
if
Kyle's.
It's not a full flight.
Like Kyle's, like
yeah, it's just like I looked at that, it's just like, huh. And then if it is a full flight, probably do what you're doing, which is crank up the music hecka loud and probably not lean back in the seat, to be honest.
You know, I'm gonna be 1,000%. I just read host's idea of the handy dandy pillow, and I thought, I was like, you know what? There is another way to deal with this. Yeah, I mean, like you definitely just kind of just go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, I mean, and then just look at the parent and be like, you know, you wish you could do this. Or why haven't you done this
but
yet?
Like, that's one of the things I think I'd do first. See if I could stop it. If not, just freaking deal with it. But granted, I do agree. The longer the flight, the more it's just like you better stop or something's gonna happen.
This is where you get up to use the restroom, right? And you do something really malicious, you know.
Oh my.
Like open up the compartment above their head, you know, just a little bit. And maybe if there's some turbulence, oh no, how did that happen? Their luggage just starts flying around the freaking compartment.
Lord.
I mean, it runs the risk of you getting hurt too, but hey, they're only sometimes going to happen. You don't know that for sure.
You know.
It's like, you're not God, you can't
You'd
do
hope
that.
Parents would have better control of their children.
You'd hope so, but it doesn't seem that way.
Not for a lot of people, no.
No. No.
They just let their kids run wild and question us. It's like, oh, what happened when they're rebellious? It's like, you know exactly what happened. But that's extrapolating later.
Yeah. Give the kid like a mason jar of sugar. Sugar Crash will hit hard.
Depends on how long it takes for that Sugar Crash to go, because it's like until they crash, you're gonna have to deal with a freaking hyper kid.
Yeah, I mean, there's a hyper kid who hits your back of your seat like a jackhammer, right? But here's the thing about that too, right? All right. This once again ties into the whole. I mean, like you could actually punish the parents. There's a whole other way of doing this. There's a whole other way of looking at this. 100%. You don't do it in a way that is going to be obvious, but you slip things into the situation that make it problematic. Example. You got yourself a piece of paper, right? Everyone's got those little folders, that kind of explain the safety thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you just take yours and you slowly edge it, into the back and the crack of the seat till it goes all the way to the other side.
Okay.
You may be asking yourself, well, why is that a big deal? Why does that matter? Well, if it's fully extended, then it kind of like the whack kind of motion. And if you think about it for a second, like if you do it smartly, okay, you can actually whack the kid covertly with the thing. And when the parent looks, you just pull it out real quick. It's a covert whack.
I mean, I can see how that works. The thing is, like, how would you know they're looking at it?
No, you don't. I mean, like, you have your phone. You're like, I'll just check this. It will check to see. Okay, all right. Let's see. Are they looking? Are they looking right now? I don't know. Let's see. Are they looking? I don't know if they're looking. Just angle it around a little bit until you're like, I see him. Okay, we're good. We're good. He's looking at the flight attendant's ass. And whack. What was that? Oh, nothing. And just pull it really quickly. Shake it back. Down here. It's fine.
Crike.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like the signs in
do we want to...
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Do we want to read all the comments that we haven't read yet? Or...
No. It's okay. We'll...
I think we've read a majority of them.
Yeah, we read through them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready for the next one?
Let's go for the next one.
All right. Scenario number 2.
All right. So, scenario number 2. You are stuck on the side of the road with a flat tire, and there is no one nearby. You can't fix the tire yourself because you don't have the proper tools. What do you do?
Now my question is, do you have a working phone or not?
I'm going to say no.
Okay, because that would be too easy.
Yeah, this isn't the 1980s. There are no road stops.
It's the 1980s. There are no.
No. No, let's say this is it could be whatever it is, but like there's no phone.
No phone. Which means you can't call anybody. You can't fix the tire yourself because you don't have the proper tools.
It's cold outside.
Yeah, oh god.
There are werewolves out. Oh, no.
Spooky.
There's dark woods.
Oh, Lord almighty.
You heard reports just before their car broke down of a crazed man running with a hatchet.
This is in the middle of the night?
This is like 1 in the morning.
Oh, Lord almighty.
Yeah, it's bad.
To be honest, I doubt there would be like anybody out that late, so I'd probably lock my car and kind of just stay in the back seat until it was daytime.
Kyle, I'm aware of that. That's right.
It's a joke.
I was being silly. But they weren't good call boxes. I just want to point that out there.
Not to mention they were probably far the frickin' part of it.
Not that far. I think they were like every half a mile or something like that.
Okay. Anyway. I think I'd probably end up just like going into the backseat of my car, bundling up, and hopefully I have a spare blanket, and just wait for it to be daytime so that I could probably try and get someone to help me in the morning when there are actually people around.
All right, so here's let's paint this situation a little bit more clearly, okay? Just a little bit more clearly, all right?
Okay.
So, your car got a flat tire, but tragically enough, while also getting the flat tire, somehow a rock got thrown into one of the windows and now it's busted. And now the cold 38 to 39 degrees air is now filtering through the horrible car while you're hearing ow sounds and like it's dark and misty.
I feel like I'd still honestly be safer in my car than I would be outside of it. Like, yeah, I would be miserable, but I think I'd be safer.
You're like, I'm a burrito. I'm a burrito. No one will hurt a burrito. I'm a burrito.
Who is going to stay awake as much as I feasibly can.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
But, like, I'd honestly, like, there's nothing I would be able to do in that scenario without being a paranoid scaredy cat. Like, I'd jump at everything, which would honestly make me feel, like, way worse. So I'd rather, even though I'd still be anxious, I think I'd rather wait until daytime.
Okay, alright.
Whether it would be as safe as I'd hoped, I'm not quite sure.
Well, who knows?
What about you?
Okay, so I'm going to start this with a series of questions. So be prepared. I'm going to ask questions.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. So, first question is, how far, exactly, 100%, I definitely believe that. Kyle, so how far, have I been traveling until I saw, anything resembling civilization?
Let's say 10 miles?
10 miles, that's it?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just gonna...
I've never been stranded in my car, okay?
Okay, alright, so if it's only 10 miles, just saying this now, if it's only been, you know what, I'm gonna give you an extra 40. I'm gonna say 50 miles.
Okay.
If it's 50 miles, alright,
Okay.
I'm locking up the car as much as I can. I'm taking all the valuables that I think I possibly could, alright, and I'm going to probably make myself as warm as I possibly can, and I'm gonna just hoof it to civilization. At which point I will then recover my car, because there ain't no fucking way I'm standing still when it's cold. I need to stay warm.
I mean, so are you like just running?
No. That's called burning energy, and you will die.
Are you like walking?
Yes, you're walking. You're walking.
50 miles is quite a distance, though, isn't it?
Oh, I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is that I have a better chance at 50 miles. 10 miles, it can be done in a couple hours. Okay, I just want to point that out. All right.
Okay.
You can traverse I can walk a mile in about 13 to 14 minutes. Like if there's no like crazy obstacle or something like that. At least according to my watch, which I don't believe. Anyways, so I mean, in theory, all right, you could probably walk, ballpark it, 2.5 miles, 3 miles an hour. So in about 10 hours, you get about 30 miles. I mean, like it basically take you a day to walk to civilization. A day that would suck. A day you would never forget. A day that you'd be sweatier and smellier than you've ever been in your life, but you'd be alive.
It will be a day you'll always remember.
Yeah, but you weren't eaten by a werewolf. You weren't attacked by a murderer. You were left your beautiful car somewhere in a terrible place.
Somewhere in the abyss.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to rip up some seats, grab some seat cushion stuff to make myself warm, best believe, I will do what it takes to survive. Even if it means cut up my precious Laura. I would do it.
Alrighty then. I'm just looking at the chat.
I know, the chat's great. I mean, yeah, every 60 seconds.
The chats are good.
I just want you to know, host, every 60 seconds a minute passes in Africa, but did you know every 60.1 seconds a minute passes in the International Space Station?
Right, the time dilation.
No, I said that completely wrong. It's the opposite. It's less than a minute.
Ah.
But it's a micro, like second, less or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's not exactly the same.
It's only noticeable after a good amount of time.
Yeah, I'm being completely fictitious. Anyway.
All right, you ready to move on to the next one?
Let's go on to number 3.
Let's go. Number 3, you forgot someone's birthday and you need to make it up to them.
Okay, I have.
What do you do?
I have 3 questions. Who is this person? Why do I need to make it up to them? What is my motive?
What is your motive for making it up to them?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that would be based on the why. Okay, let me start it from the beginning then. I just looked at host's comment.
Yeah. That's right. You patch up any of those holes. You stay warm.
Let's see. Somebody important to you, just I guess be general.
Uh-huh.
Why do you, and then the second question was, why do you need to make it up to them?
Yeah.
I guess one thing would probably be, one option could be they're upset about you missing their birthday, or you had made plans and missed them.
Mm-hmm.
As for the motivation, I mean, for me, it's as simple as they're my friend who was looking forward to celebrating their birthday, like, potentially with me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, Kyle!
Dear Lord, no. That sounds a very pedo feel to it. I'm not.
Oh my god!
I'm not touching this.
We're not touching that with the 10 pole.
You know, you can have all the poles. I'm not touching.
Oh my god.
No.
Anyway.
No, it's a terrible scenario, Kyle. No.
Alright,
no,
moving on.
No.
Let's
Okay,
just
so
say
okay.
close friend, had plans that you somehow missed.
All right, so if it's a close friend, I'm not gonna say this now. They can go fuck themselves. I don't give a shit, and I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't care that much. You gotta be a lot closer to me than a close friend for me to give a shit about a forgotten birthday. I'm just gonna say that now. Just gonna throw that out there. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, like, if I forget someone's birthday and they're important to me in some significant way, it depends on what they do for me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm like one of those people, right? Like, it's, you know, if this person is like, you know, absolutely done everything they possibly could to make things happy then for me, and I just totally just lapse in judgment, fucked up, I'm like, all right, let's what will put a smile on this person's face? What is the thing that we'll do? What I'll do necessarily make them up is always extravagant. Always, you know. You make a fuck up like that, you're paying to the nose. That's just the way it goes. Unfortunately, I don't like that, but you know, it is the way it is. But I still think I'm gonna lean pretty strongly into the go fuck yourself. I'm not making it up to you. Like argument. I think that's a strong one. That's the position I think I would most likely take. And fuck all mason jars. I don't care.
It's always back to the mason jar with it, isn't it?
It really is, because, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know what, I want to put in a mason jar just to fuck with people. Yeah, let's say sugar on there. There'll be sugar in there. But you know what's also going to be inside there? Razor blades.
Oh my. Oh.
Get into my sugar jar, fool. You will have a bloodied hand before it's long gone. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah. Craig.
I don't even want to know what Kyle said, you filthy, filthy person.
Oh, I read what it said earlier.
Oh, you did? What did it say?
Yeah, it was a reference to John Oliver.
Okay. Right. Anyways. What would you do in this scenario?
Let's see.
How are you making it up to me? If it was me, how are you making it up to me?
I mean, probably see what you would like to do. Like, figure out a time and day to celebrate it, even if it was late.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what I typically do if I happen to miss it.
Okay.
Due to, like, other complications. I usually, like, wish them a late happy birthday, because better late than never, in my opinion, when it comes to those, at least. And then figure out, is there something we can do to, like, make up for it? If they don't think it's forgivable, then okay, I can try. But, like, for the most part, it's just, like, figuring out something that they would probably want to do, and if I'm able to do it to try and help them stay happy, I think.
Okay. I mean, hey, that works, you know.
Alright. Do we want to read any of the...
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's see. Host, sushi and drinks or boba. We are simple folk.
Okay.
That was the prompt from Kyle that was relating to John Oliver.
Yeah.
Mason jar of sugar. $5. That took a dark turn. Oh, I think they're referring
to
yours?
they're referring to what I said. And it's okay. I stand by it.
And then the last one, I would say happy belated birthday and give them a card and a gift.
Okay. What kind of gift, Kyle? What kind of gift? You know, my birthday was a few months ago. I didn't hear happy birthday. I'm joking.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I wished you happy birthday.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Well,
it was other people that weren't fine.
It's sorry. It's fine. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Point is, that was said. It was done. Let's move on.
All right. Next question before the break.
Yeah. Let's just the next question. Here we go.
Number 4.
You're on your way to help a friend. The situation takes longer to handle than you expect, and you have to cancel plans with another friend. How do you handle it so that both friends don't feel bad?
Crike, that thing was like literally one character above the word limit.
Can I offer you an egg in these trying times? No. It's like egg made of gold.
So let's see. On my way to help a friend. Situation takes way longer than expected. I have to cancel plans with another friend. How do I handle it so that both friends do not feel bad? Oh, Lord Almighty. I'd probably, for one, call the second friend to see if there's any way to just like push it off by maybe 10, 20 minutes, probably by however long it takes me to get to the location, if it's not completely time sensitive. Tell the current friend that, hey, I made other plans. I'd love to help more, but I can't, so we're gonna have to try this some other time and figure out a schedule for that. Because it's like, yeah, you helped as much as you could in the time frame, but you also made other plans, and they may be late, but as long as they're okay with postponing it, it can be postponed because you're still going to do it. You just need to get there. If it is more time sensitive, probably tell the first friend, hey, I had plans, and freaking hoof it as quickly as I can, keeping a track of the time.
So how do you make them both not feel bad, though?
That's not going to be... Because the thing is, they're going to feel bad for... Because it's like, here's the thing. Either friend's going to feel bad regardless. The first one, maybe for, like, taking way longer than it should have. So it's like, no matter what you do, whether you finish it or not, they're going to feel bad because it's going to take longer than usual. The only thing you can really do is minimize it.
Yeah, I'll be 1,000% when it comes to my particular circumstance for this.
Oh, yeah?
I would tell the other friend that I couldn't make it to basically go fuck themselves and create an argument. So that way they wouldn't want to see me anyways. And that way they're not going to feel bad, they're going to feel angry at me, which is not the same thing.
Okay, then.
See, that's how I get around it. See, like, no, if I'm honest with the situation, right, and I'm like, hey, this is what happened, I can't make it, person's going to still be bummed out I couldn't make it, all right? But if I piss them off to the point where they don't want to see me anyways, they're no longer feeling bad about not seeing me, they're just angry at me now. Which isn't really bad, it's something completely different.
I guess?
Yeah, I know. I'm not a good person sometimes.
I mean, it works for the scenario, but damn.
I know, right? It's cruel. And just wanted to point this out, host, if it's not made of gold, golden quail, then I don't want it. Just want to say that now.
Let's see. Oh, Kyle, that happens to me a lot. If I'm helping a friend on an urgent and important thing, my second friend is situation. Yeah, fair enough. Host, to be blunt and honest, I'm spontaneous to a fault and life hits hard. There's always tomorrow. Kyle, if it's not important, then I tell my first friend I have plans. Usually my friends would understand that I need to keep my word.
So you know, when it comes down to certain things, I think that like it's important to be able to say no. You know, if a friend asks me for help, all right, you know, I think I have to weigh the situation out in a way that like is fair to both people, and I think simply being like telling the other friend who needs help to simply no, I can't do it. It is what it is, and if they feel bad, then they're not my friend anymore.
I mean, I think this scenario kind of assumes you've already agreed to help.
Yeah, I know. If I'm changing the situation.
Well,
Screw the rules. Screw the rules. I am in control of this program. I say what's on here, and you can only convince me of so much. Because apparently my words matter sometimes. Maybe. Kind of. All the time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's gotta be important enough.
Yeah, I mean seriously. Like, I'll give you an example. One of my friend's house
Okay.
is recently flooded, right?
Uh-huh.
I had plans to do something else, but that situation was so incredibly urgent that I dropped everything to make sure that person's house was not like totally screwed. And so, and in the process, I ruined an entirely good outfit and my favorite shoes, which was a mistake. I should have. Looking at it now, in hindsight, that was a mistake. But I will say this now. Do I regret it? 100%. I should have said it, but I can go fuck myself. That's why I should have said. I should have said it. I should have said it, but I didn't. I was the good guy, and as time has repeatedly told me, nice guys finish last. Let's go to the break with that.
Oh.
See you in 2 minutes.
Then. Bye. And we're good. Hello. Oh, that was a lovely thing to
Yeah.
get back onto.
Man, look at that guy. He's missing part of his face. There's just a little piece missing. Yeah. All right.
All right.
So I believe we're on number 5.
Correctamundo. Alright. You see an elderly person on the side of the road trying to cross but struggling with their bags. What do you do?
Okay. All right. I pull over the car. I
Okay.
quickly run over there. I take the bags and I get back in my car and leave. I'm joking.
That is something that is definitely probably feasible in GTA, to be honest.
In GTA it is. No, in reality, I mean, like, actually, I've actually stopped for.
Do they?
I've stopped for elderly people before and helped them. Well, there's at the cross streets of where I live, there is a Salvation Army of sorts that essentially has a lot of elderly people going in there. A lot of times they come out with like a bunch of different random stuff. I've actually genuinely pulled over into the parking lot and actually helped several people cross the street with stuff before. Just because it's a weird street. It's got a weird kind of like angled cut to it, and I mean, some of the things that they were carrying is a little bit ridiculous, especially considering they were carrying it to a bus stop. So it was, yeah. I mean, honestly, like that's just me though. I mean, just because if I see someone who's truly in need of help, and I have the time, I'm gonna help. Yeah, and sometimes like I remember one time I was on the way back from coming from the gym. Like I just got done with the gym, and I remember going down a road. It's kind of like a one lane, kind of road. on each side, and I pulled right in and saw what happened. It was like, hey, would you like some help with that? And they're like, yeah, of course. And then I helped them over to the bus stop across the street. So, yeah, I think it's important to be able to help out your fellow human being out there, because, you know, if you don't do it, who will? You know, you can't just keep on pushing it on to someone else and assuming someone else is going to do the right thing. At some point, you have to do the right thing too.
Yeah, for me, it's probably something similar. If I've got the time, I'll happily help them out. Whether it's like either parking the car and helping them get to where they need to go, or if it's further than walking distance, potentially off for a ride in my car.
Mm-hmm. Well,
whatever makes it easier.
I mean, in LA, that's risky.
Fair.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with who you find sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But like you said, you can't always just hope that somebody else is gonna help them.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta take it into your own hands.
Mm-hmm.
So, host.
Sometimes you gotta.
Oh no, just reading host's response, but go ahead, complete your thing.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta just like be the example that you'd want to see.
Yeah. I wish that more people took up that idea. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a shame. Yeah, but the answer to you, host, is do they have a gun? No, of course not. They're old. Who has a gun? They're old. It's like like some grandma with a Glock in their purse. I don't think so. This isn't New York City.
Unless it's one
fantasy.
of those like fictional badass grandmas.
Yeah, I know, right? Like most grandmas are not gonna have that. They might have some gum.
GUM, not GUM.
What part of the world am I in? You are in a small to medium-sized town in the middle of white America. I'll be like, why not, you know? And then have I stopped for elderly before? I usually offer them a ride to the destination. I mean, that's nice of you, Kyle. I mean, how many elderly people have taken you up on it, though? I'm curious. Just, you know, whenever you want to throw that in there. Let's just jump to the next question.
Yeah, sure. Alright, give me 1 second. Ba. Alright. Host. I will try to help. Most of the time I try to help, they don't need it. Alright then.
Okay. Alright, you come across a group of people surrounding a person and insulting them and pushing them around, but you recognize no one in this area. What do you do?
Recognizing nobody, huh?
Yeah, nobody. Absolutely nobody. I mean, they are kicking, screaming, pushing things around, and also, before we just do that real quick, host, that's a lie.
Huh?
Middle of white America, 50-50, they have a gun. I'm gonna call bullshit. Anyways.
There are some parts of the USA where older men carry guns, according to Kyle.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are. And name those places, Kyle.
Anyway, you come across a big group of people surrounding the person and insulting them and pushing them around, but you recognize no one in the area. I recognize nobody. I'd probably be terrified out of my mind. I'm like a tiny Asian person. I probably wouldn't be able to do much physically. If there's somebody I could get to if there's somebody I could get to help or like call some type of authority, whether it's like if it depending on how badly they're burning the person up, it's probably a good idea to call the police, depending. Granted, they don't have the best response time.
Yeah. Okay.
And oh gosh, what could I do? I'd like to probably help, but not in a way that gets my own self hurt, because that's not the point of that. To be honest, it's like it's kind of hard. It's just like I can't just go in swinging because I'm like tiny. I swing and they're gonna feel nothing. It's either I knock them out in one go, or I'm pretty much useless and did not help the situation. And if anything, I probably would have aggravated it.
Okay, alright. I'm gonna say this now. Florida is Puerto Rico, the sequel. Texas is Oklahoma 2. And Arizona, well, fuck Arizona. I don't care about Arizona. All those things don't count.
These hands are...
All those don't count. And I will tell you this right now. Those hands, they're rated E for everyone. Then I'm afraid that you might be a pedophile. I'm sorry.
Lord almighty.
My hands are M for me. Anyways.
You haven't answered what you would do in this situation.
Oh God, why do you tell me? All right.
That bad?
As a person who has actually interrupted a group of people who are being belligerent to a person, I can tell you exactly how it goes if you're me.
Oh Lord.
I don't know if it really applies to everyone else though.
I mean, certainly wouldn't apply to me.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm more skeptical about my own answer here.
So when I was younger, when I was about 18, 19, I used to ride the light rail, like a lot. And light rail in Sacramento is, kind of what you'd imagine it to be. It's like a bus train thing that is, around a certain like network. It's not like super huge. And while waiting for a train, I saw this, I would say, 20-something girl basically getting leered at by a bunch of dudes. And I saw the situation, and I started getting a little bit more aggressive to the point where one of them had actually sort of shoved her a little bit. And then when I saw that, I walked over there and was like, "Hey guys, you need to get the fuck out of here." And they looked at me and they were like, "What you gonna do about it?" And I was like, "I'm gonna stop you first, and then your friend over there, and then your other friend. Would you like to have this conversation a little further?" They just walked away. They're like, "You wouldn't do shit," and just walked away.
It sounds like they wouldn't do shit.
I mean, honestly, if someone does something that stupid, I mean, I'm gonna approach them because I'm 6'7". Back then, I used to wear a giant black trench coat, and honestly, I still walk around with a "I don't give a shit" attitude, which means I have no problem, smashing someone's teeth across the paper. It's just what it is. I mean, sure, I'm gonna get punched a lot. Sure, I'm not gonna defend well because I never took any formal karate, but I've gotten to my fair share of scraps, and so I know how to throw a couple punches, and I guarantee you that those dudes would get shit on back then. But and the thing about that is that I'm not, it's not like something I'm walking around like, "Oh yeah, I'm always do it," but that's just when confronted with that situation, that's how I reacted. I don't know if that's how I'd react today. I'd like to think I would, but then it's how
no idea until it happens.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of like you kind of read the situation. I feel like if I can take the group on to a point where I could, damage enough of them to slow the rest of the group down, then I'm probably going to be okay. But I think that overall, if I think that they have a good chance of some sort of weapon or something like that, I'm probably going to get the person out of the situation and not engage in conversation with them at all. And then once the person's safely out of the way, then just kind of do my best to stand in between both groups. Which reduces my chance of being harmed and that person being harmed. At least that's my idea, at least. And also, I took some self-defense. Well, not really self-defense. I should say I was a junior deputy for a little while, so I am familiar with certain defenses and things like that.
Oh, wrong button.
So, okay.
Oh, this part of the video.
Yeah, isn't that great? Anyways, so let's see here. In 2018, the Small Arms Survey stated that the U.S. civilians alone accounted for 398 million, about 46% of the worldwide total of civilian-held firearms. Yeah, you're absolutely 100% correct, but there are also a lot of people out there who own 200, 300, 400 guns, and it's one person. I mean, and that's actually the vast majority of the people that I know who actually own guns. There's one or two people I know who own a gun, and usually it was a situation of they inherited it, they didn't buy it, but people who actually are invested in buying and shooting guns typically own a dozen or more firearms. So it doesn't surprise me that that's the number, at least in the US, because we have the money to buy firearms. But it also should know that just because there's a shit ton of firearms owned in the US by civilians doesn't mean that every citizen is armed to the teeth with weapons. So it's more like a few of them have a shit ton of guns. So.
And then Kyle's response: if I'm at a distance, I'd yell at them to get their attention and let the guy run.
Assuming it's a guy, what if it's a girl, what if it's a bunch of smaller children situation? There's a whole bunch of things. I mean, I don't know. The yelling thing, I think, is situational and dependent upon who they are, what things are. I think most of the time you need to be more direct to break up groups. Just so you know.
All right, last one before the break.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Someone decides to be to come up and be rude to you for whatever reason. What do you do?
I mean, is this person like? Describe this person to me.
Like
aesthetically, like what do they look like? How tall? What gender? What ethnicity? What?
I guess that would depend on it, wouldn't it?
What's their clothing style? Like, does it show like certain things? Like, are they wearing something that's fancy? Are they wearing something that's not? Are they wearing something that's like business casual? Are they looking at like what's the socioeconomic status of the individual? Because that's going to be indicative of a whole bunch of things, including like life experience and things that would matter. So.
Let's see.
I bet.
I guess, first choose, I suppose. Female, average height.
Is she hot?
I guess average.
Then she's not talking to me. The person's fictional, 100%.
I mean, this is a hypothetical scenario.
All right, so someone who is of average height, who's a woman, comes up to me and starts berating me for no reason at all.
Yeah, sure.
Is that it? Is that the only thing
I mean, yeah, it's a hypothetical.
Sure. Okay.
Like,
okay. So okay.
Just
all right.
if in general a person just came up to you and was rude for whatever reason.
Okay. All right. Okay. So. I mean, I personally probably, depending upon like how aggressive they are, it would depend on what I do. Is this person like super aggressive, or are they just being like shouting at me?
I suppose shouting at you, yeah.
Shouting at me? Okay.
Shouting, being rude, insulting.
So I'd take
not being physical yet, but like.
Okay, so I would take what they say, right?
Okay.
So first of all, so average height, right, for a woman, I believe, is like 5'6", 5'7", something like that. At least in the United States.
I just know I'm shorter.
Well, yeah, I know that, but like I'm saying, like the average height for a person in the United States that's a woman is, I believe, 5'6", 5'7", and the average height for a guy is between 5'11" and like, I think it's like 5'10", 5'11", something like that, somewhere in that neighborhood, just shy of 6 feet. Honestly, I think I would probably sit there and make jokes at this person's expense. Like 1,000%. Like that's exactly what I'd actually do. Only because to me, it would be so absurd that it's comical. I also would point out the fact that, you know, I have had a lot of crazy people come up to me and do a variety of things. I've never been berated by a crazy woman. Like it's never happened, and I think there's a reason for that. Is that I'm a giant, and I look very mean. Especially when I'm waiting for something, because when I'm waiting for something, I'm usually very upset. So like on top of like just being like having like the male equivalent of the resting bitch face, of the resting I'm gonna beat the living shit out of you face, then I'm also a giant, so it's like my body shows that I can back up that particular type of threat to most people. And so even the most obscene people still just kind of leave me alone unless I, you know, interact with them. So, I mean, I would say that, like, that particular circumstance, yeah, it's likely I'm going to make fun of them a lot. Like, a lot.
I mean, that's one way to handle it.
Like in a ridiculous amount. And then I would tell everybody about it. Like, I also think that, you know, it's just an interesting idea, just in general. So, how about this? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to describe a different type of person, though, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, you come across someone who is 3'9".
Okay.
Is an adult. Is an actual midget. All right?
Okay.
And they are coming up to you very aggressively, screaming and yelling at you. This is, we'll say a man.
Okay.
All right, with a beard.
Okay.
And is using the fist to hit your leg.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't hurt, but it's annoying.
Okay.
And he's using his finger to jab into your leg a little bit, too.
Uh-huh.
All right, what do you do?
Well, the first thing that popped into my head is just like, can I help you with something, or are you going to act like a child all day?
Okay.
Like, that's literally the first thing that popped into my head with that entire scenario.
All right.
If they're, like, insulting me, it's just like, probably it's just like, I don't even know who you are, why should I care about what you've got to say?
Mm-hmm.
And then the third is like, if I can walk away, probably just go ahead and do so. And if they bug me, it's probably just like keep walking.
Okay.
Because it's just like, if I was going to pay attention, that's about as much attention as I'd be willing to give them.
Okay.
And if they stalk me for longer than like 5 minutes, probably threaten the police.
Threaten,
Probably
not
threaten
actually
with the
call.
It would be a call only if they continually followed me for more than like maybe 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the threat's usually enough to get them off the tail, but like if they go for longer, then they obviously want something, which is a little more dangerous.
Mm-hmm. I see.
But it's just like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd get physical unless they were like, they legit threw the first punch.
Okay. So you're
Like,
saying, so you're
it's
potentially saying
it's
there's
a
a
playful punch and jab because
No,
it's
no,
like,
this is not. This
doesn't
is not
hurt.
playful. It's
Yeah,
not
I know.
playful. This is with intention. This is like I'm trying to like hurt you. I'm trying to like
But it
really.
actually doesn't hurt.
I mean, like I would say it doesn't really. It's more of annoying, but I think like the finger poking thing kind of like
The
is
finger
like
poking
it's a
would be
jab.
little,
You know, it's
yeah,
like a
it's
jab kind of thing. Yeah. Like
Granted,
little
I do
knobby
have
fingers.
pepper spray now.
Oh wow, you have pepper spray now?
Yeah, my mom made me get it
Oh,
when
okay.
I went back to school.
Okay, well now you can you can annoy someone.
Yeah, you can absolutely annoy the heck out of people. That thing apparently hurts.
Okay.
But I think that's what I'd do.
All right.
I think.
Okay. Well, let's
Ready
read
to
a couple of
read
these.
some
Yeah, let's read a couple of these comments before we go to the next. Before we go to break.
Alright.
Actually, we're not gonna go to break. We're just gonna go finish through this whole thing.
Yeah, sure. Alright, Kyle, I used to work in a grocery store. This happened all the time. Yeah, that happens in retail or grocery or service in general. Host, I'll just look at them with confusion. Who are you and why should I care type of look.
Yeah, makes sense.
Those types of looks are kind of funny to perfect if you can.
No.
No, not at all.
I don't know about like me. I couldn't do it.
You can?
No, because like to me like my look is so much more effective.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, if you
It's-
don't already have an effective look to
Yeah.
get them off your back, you might. This one's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Alright, host. Happened twice randomly on the streets.
Hmm.
Oh, the next comment explains it. I think they wanted money via an assault charge, play victim, and demand money type of thing. I hate that that's an actual thing I could believe in.
I could never do that. No one would ever look at me and think, "Oh, he's a victim." Like there's welcome to discrimination. Yet another reason why being tall sucks.
I get it. Okay. Kyle, nowadays, depending on the situation, I would say you're probably right and let them bet. What the? Okay. Interesting one.
Okay.
Kyle, hitting my leg would hurt if it were the shin. There's not a lot of muscle protecting the bone there.
Yeah.
Try
no.
to get them to stop avoid
It's called hurt.
grabbing the shin.
It's ow.
It's called hurt.
Yeah.
Let's see, last one. I would ask what was happening, then I would leave, and if there was no peaceful resolution, I would pick them up and toss them.
Oh no. No.
Holy crap.
No.
Holy crap.
All right.
Holy
I mean,
crap.
hey, why not? Just pick them up and like fucking throw them like a freaking
Yeet.
big ball, or roll them perhaps like a bowling
Just
ball.
yeet.
All right, let's go ahead and do the next section and I'll
You
let
can trust them as far as you can throw them. It's
Toss
not
the dwarf.
trusting as far as you can
It's a game.
Toss the
A Harry
dwarf.
Potter game. Anyways, let's lightning round the next three.
Alright.
I'll
First one.
have you read them each one. By the
Yeah,
way.
sure. Okay. You overhear one of your friends insulting another friend behind their back. What do you do in this situation?
Tell my other friend what they were saying and watch the turmoil.
Watch the turmoil. Do you want me to respond to, or is it this?
Yeah,
your
absolutely. No,
line?
no.
Okay.
You go.
For me, I'd probably end up like confronting them about like why they feel that way, and if it's such a bad thing, why don't they have the balls to go up and fix it?
Wow. So you would emasculate the individual, huh? Fascinating.
Probably. It's just like it's just like if it's such a big deal, it's like you might as well just fix it. So it's just like if you're too cowardly to like go ahead and fix it, even if it's just confronting the other person. I'm just one of those people, like if there's a problem with like how I'm acting, like feel free to have at me, like tell me about it, and I'll like do my best to fix it. Because it's like if it's annoying, and if it's like an actual true insult, nothing's gonna get fixed if you just say it behind their back, because they're not gonna know what the hell to fix.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, next one.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Dun, 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 dun. You come across someone attempting to take advantage of a disabled person. What do you do? And do you want an actual example, or do you want this to remain as general as possible?
Let's make it as general as possible.
Okay, yeah, you see somebody attempting to take advantage of a disabled person.
Honestly, I just probably beat the shit out of them. I mean, frankly speaking, I mean, it's like, you know,
hard fare.
Basically, make them so difficult that they reevaluate the decisions they've made in life. I think that's probably the level. You know, I would really change their life. You know, like I love that threat. You know, like you walk up to somebody like, listen, you don't want to do this. I'm gonna change your life. Yeah, like can you imagine like
that's
a super like terrifying.
Drop kicking.
Yeah, I mean like seriously like that's the whole like worst case scenario. It's like, you know, you're not gonna be like, I'm not gonna say something like I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm not gonna beat the shit out of you. No, I'm going to change your life. Yeah, is the whole like that's the next level, right? And only so many people could actually pull that off. I feel like, you know, if I said that to somebody like in a really menacing way, I feel like in that way it would most likely be effective. They'd look at me and go, okay,
all right,
okay. You know, it's like, anyways, what about you?
I don't have that effect for one, so the best thing that I could potentially do is make a huge fucking scene about it.
I can see that.
Scream, yell, act like a stereotypical Karen about it.
No, don't say that. No, I refuse. Rose is not a Karen, folks. No.
I know I'm not, but I can certainly try to act like one, if only to embarrass the other person as feasibly as I can.
But no.
If it works, it'll work.
But no. Why don't you just run up to them and just kick them really hard in the shin? Like, I mean, like chop them down like a tree. You know, like with your feet.
I mean, yeah, but like depending on where I kick it, might potentially break something, and I'm not getting sued for hospital charge.
That's why you put on a Halloween mask and run. we live in the we live in the time of COVID. Just put on a Halloween mask. Go do your shopping. You're like, what? I have a mask on. Why do I need anything else? This has got cloth. It's enough. You don't need to worry about that. If you really cared, here's my mask, and now I'll put another mask on. Now I'm masked up to the 10th degree. I'll see you get on to me, COVID.
For me, it just make as big of a scene as possible, because if they're taking advantage of somebody, they don't want it to be known. So the bigger you seem, the more attention you bring, the more they're gonna regret everything.
You will live to regret this is a statement that I've heard people say, and then I've never seen
you like to leave the kitchen window open for you. Oh, holy crap! That sounds like a stalker comment.
Okay, let's move on to the last one. Last one of the night, folks.
Bum bum bum, speed around. As you are walking around, you come across a person who seems to be injured with no one around helping them. What do you do?
Immediately come to their aid. Help them with whatever they need.
Just immediately help?
Unequivocally, 100%. Yeah, this is something I have done before. I remember I was down a particular trail. I was walking. A person had, I think, done something bad with their ankle, and they weren't able to walk. They were stuck on the bench. I basically picked them up, put them on my back, and walked basically back to where they were at, where they were able to get to their car, and their phone was in the car, and they were able to call somebody. So 100%, this is what I would do. And even if it is a trap, I mean, like, who gives a shit? I mean, like, oh no, it's a trap. Now I have reason to destroy. So Justin must destroy. Justin smash!
It's like you went to help, they wanted to take advantage to you, you're gonna make them regret it.
Oh yes, that's one of the only blessings in life I have. Sheer size.
For me, I don't think I'd be, like, it depending on the person, I may be able to carry them for like half a minute, giving it my best shot. More often than more than likely, like 5 seconds. 5 seconds, that's about it.
Yeah.
And if they were heavier, not even that.
Yeah.
But like,
Would you try to drag
I'd probably
them?
have,
Would you drag them?
I think depending on how they were injured, that'd do more harm than good.
Yeah.
But usually, for the most part, I usually have my phone, and it's like if it's not fully charged, I have a battery pack.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're like, I'm calling help right now.
Like, I'd probably like tell them to give me a number or figure out where the hell their phone is to get them their phone so they can contact their emergency contact, their ICE contact.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they can't tell me where their phone is, feel free to use mine to call somebody at least.
But aren't you concerned for COVID?
Huh?
Aren't you concerned about getting COVID by letting them touch your phone? Are you not thinking of other people? How could you not do that?
It's called hand sanitizer and like other sanitizing products.
I'm just messing around.
It's like, for the love of God, don't be one of those.
I know. All right, everybody. We're 5 minutes past. I hope you guys enjoyed this particular episode. I know I did. I look forward to a discussion of pets and how they're helpful on Saturday. And we'll check you all in the next one. Later, everybody.